Hello, my friends. Welcome to Job Strategy for PMPs. Today, we're going through a ton of information. We're going to find out how best to apply for jobs by, first of all, crafting a resume. And after we have crafted the resume, just taking a template that I'm going to make available to you, then we are going to hit the site known as dice.com, and then we'll hit monster.com and indeed.com. And today, we are going to apply for jobs on all of these sites. We are going to put our resume out there, and I'm going to show you how it's done because I've been there, done that a gazillion times. So let's jump straight in. First of all, you need to get some sort of template and begin crafting your resume to the best of your ability. Now, this is a template that I have. I will share the template when this is over. Here is a template. You can see it's a very basic resume. The thing about resumes is you do not have to complicate it. Fancy colors and photos, just so not needed. Just stick to the basics. Your name, what you do, contact info, and then the summary. Now we're going to tweak this summary to sound a little bit more concise. So, accomplished project management professional with 15 plus years of success leading and driving operational improvement. So I'll say leading and directing projects. Talent for operational management. We'll put project management in there, including leading, forming, and leading high performance teams, effectively making decisions and resolving issues expediently. Get rid of all of this. Experience in driving strategic direction. So I'll say experienced in supporting strategic initiatives, product roadmaps, and projects through the complexities of different agendas, personalities, and cultures, through complexities, through organizational complexities, period. Complexity is pretty standard. We don't need to over elaborate on that. Expertise in working under tight deadlines. Everyone says that. Tight deadlines on multiple time sensitive projects while providing strong leadership and time management skills. So we'll try and incorporate some of this, right? Talent for project management, including forming and leading high performance teams, effectively making decisions, leading. Let's see, I think that's good enough. Effectively making decisions, resolving. Okay, you've already talked about expediently, expertise working under Okay, so this is going to contravene my 4-line rule. I have a 4-line rule when it comes to summaries. Anything going into 5 lines is just a big no-no. So kind of learn from what I did right there. I went through it and I scanned very quickly and I found ways to make things shorter. And if there's anything that sounds cliche, I'm just going to take it out because everyone says they work under deadline. Who doesn't say that, right? So let's take a look at the skill. So if we're applying for a project management role, you want to have project management right there, front and center. If you did some program management, you could put that in there. If you did some portfolio management, you'd put that in there. Portfolio management, strategic plan and direction, stakeholder management is what it's known as. What can we put instead of this? Systems management is a possibility, although some people may not have that. So you could put some like financial management, That's good. Task prioritization, personnel supervision. Depending on what you've done, right? Let's put some project manager speak in here. Okay, logistics oversight, reports and analysis is good. Quality assurance is good. So let's say quality assurance and control. I would say something to the effect of project planning and controls. All right. So that's that for the skills, the experience. So this is, let's make this a bit more recent. So I really want to make sure that you have I have a rule when it comes to resumes where if it goes like far back, so far back, it becomes a little bit redundant. So if you have a solid job in the first two positions, you don't have to go crazy on the previous ones. And again, it depends on the company and the job. I know for a lot of executive jobs, they want to know how long you've been doing stuff at a certain level. And it might be important to include a lot of job history. But in this case, we're just going to say, so this is going for a PM role. We're just going to put it at 12 years. And let's just say this person worked in, let's put it up to 2023. And let's say you worked there since 2009. Okay. All right. So we have project manager. So we'll just say project and program manager. They did both. Okay. Company X, Y, Z. And we already have the dates there. It is kind of neat to have it all on one line. So we'll just put 2009 to 2013. 2023, I beg your pardon. All right. So you got that auto present. Present is better. That's the present. All right. So let's take a look at this template that we've got here. First of all, this contravenes my rule of having one line per bullet. Please don't give the poor people at the recruiting firm or the recruiter themselves, don't give them a headache. So please make the bullets succinct. Let's see what we're trying to say here. Provided project management direction while developing important relationships with key stakeholders. So we could say, project management direction and stakeholder management. So you could say provided project management direction and stakeholder management involving contracts and resolving conflicts. So to me, this would be something else. You could say responsible for contract negotiation and conflict resolution with vendors and key stakeholders. Now you can see it is not as overbearing as it was in the beginning. It was just too much. All right. So we shave that off. This is not a bad one. Analyzed complex issues to develop dashboards, complete budgets, and reorganize databases. So I could say analyze issues to develop dashboards, complete budgets, and reorganize databases. Supervise office staff in completion of daily office operations and procedures. I'm going to get rid of that. We're talking project management. So what do project managers typically do? Or program managers, right? So enhance procurement processes by researching best practices and managing vendor contracts and negotiations. Enhance procurement processes through research and business development. You also don't want to have this resume sounding a bit babyish. So you got to watch the language you put in there. All right, now it's getting to too many bullets. So this contravenes, again, another 4-bullet rule. I like 4 bullets per job. The moment you're going into 5, don't you feel sorry for the poor person. Hit them with your best shot in the first 3 bullets, and the other 2 are, the other 1 is just for effect, as much as possible. I try to keep it to 4. So let's see what we can weed out of here. Outlines, key deliverables. Hello, that's what project managers do. So when you say provided project management direction, if you wanted to stress that, you could say scheduling or schedule scope, cost. And if you wanted to do that, at least that brings some of the terminology to the surface so that the ATS can grab it, right? The application tracking system can grab it. So analyze issues. You want to show you a decision maker, a problem solver. This shows you a bit of a problem solver, process all material, too much information there, interface with key, except, so let me give you some further guidance. On top of my 4-bullet rule, if there's some items that are brought to the surface in the job description, then I would expect that you plant those in there, only if you've done them, of course, right? So to me, this will be excessive. I'd get rid of that. Interface with key stakeholders to create an integrated project plan. Again, this is babyish. So you, as a PMP boss, you want to say something like developed project management plans, developed project charters, project management plans, and project documents. Okay. And then you can plant that higher up. And then, so this is going a little bit too far. I'm going to excuse just a few bullets for the sake of the illustration, but if this was my resume, I would wrap it all up to just be 4. You could say there could be some sort of final outcome. Successfully managed 13 projects on schedule and within budget with a high PMO rating. Of course, if your company does things like that, but the outcome is quite important because you want to emphasize what exactly you accomplished from, that position or in that role. We can put that as a bullet as well. And honestly, that would be it. So you got to put your best foot forward. Now, depending on the job that we're going for, you'll see how I will expand this. For now, we've shaved it down to single bullet, just on 1 line, but you got to remember, ideally, this is what I want it to look like. See how easy that is to read? See what 2 bullets can do to the ease of reading. So not everyone has the patience. Now, if you've just got 1 position as we have here, it's excusable, right? That's excusable. All right, so let's get the education up here. So that's education. We have some certification. And this is a 1-pager. Very straightforward, very simple. If more information is needed, then of course you can present that. But for now, this is a general idea. Now, as you craft your resume, you want to make sure you've got some uniformity in sizes. So you want to make sure that's the same size as this, and all the text is the same font. So this is 12, should be 12. This is 12, this is 12. And then this, if we make this 12, it does take some of it overboard, which means we should make all of them 11. We can make them all 11 and see what happens there. Let's do 11 and 11 for these. Okay, those are all 11. Okay, good. We can nudge it down a little bit. We could just put those a little bit more, maybe to a 14, just so it stands out. We've got enough space to play with. And if you don't have a whole lot of information to fill a page, then that is something you could do. You could make the headers a little bit bolder. Okay. And I'm telling you that based on my experience in the job market, you don't need a whole lot of text on a resume to cause a whole lot of havoc. You could be dangerous with just a few lines, but those lines have to touch the right place. If they don't touch the right place, it's going to be a struggle. All right, so now we're done. We're going to save it. And we're going to advance to begin loading this on the web. So the first one is Dice. You want to go to Dice and put in the information, log in. Well, I don't have a login, so I have to sign up. So register. Very simple to register. So let's get you started with Dice. This is my favorite. I've done 6-figure jobs from here twice. Highly recommend it. Dice is very good for tech stuff. So I want to get started or grow my tech career. And next, and let's put in the name. So the name of our applicant is Doug. Let's see his name, Doug Doe. Okay. So Doug Doe, and just follow along. I want you to open up Dice now, because some of you are slacking. Some of you should have done this thing like years ago, and you've been in the same job. Come on now, let's do it. Let's do it. Open up that browser and let's get rolling. All right, that's the name. Put in a password. Got a password in there. Got another password in there. I ain't a robot. And let's hit register. Come on, come on, come on. Let's get moving, Dice. All right, so I want to save it. No, we're not going to do that. All right, let's move on. Are you creating this profile for yourself? Yes. Upload a resume. Let's go ahead, and I am going to upload the resume that we have been working on for Doug Doe. So let me find where that is. And I got to close it first, just so that it can actually get on here. All right. So there we go. It is uploading. It's got all the information in there. It wants a valid city. Let's say Phoenix, Arizona. Employment details. So what kind of jobs do you want? Full-time, part-time, contract. It depends on you. There's the information. It's all in there, all in there. Last time used, all of these skills have been added. That's straightforward. It's got everything in there, sucked it all in. And that's why you want to make your resume in the format I did. If you didn't, it'll be hard for it to suck these skills out. Okay. Now, let's say I have used these skills for not just 14 years, but let's say it varies across the board. You got to go in here and change it. And that's okay. That's what it's expected. So very quickly, just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Let's say I've done it for 3 years or 8 years. In this case, copy, paste, make it quick. All right. Okay, save your profile. I am interested in getting jobs that match my profile. Save the profile. Okay. Annual salary. Now you gotta watch out when you put these things in because it could be prohibitive. So you gotta put in the lowest. So it really depends on what you think you can live with, right? So put in whatever you think is your threshold. Okay. Got to put in a photo. There's absolutely nothing wrong in putting in a photo. Put in a photo if you want. It helps putting in a photo, I must say, though, because there are times when you just make the connection with the individual, whoever is looking at all this information. So let's put in a photo just to illustrate. I actually have a photo on my Dice profile. Absolutely nothing wrong in it. And I would highly advise it to make that connection. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to use a random photo, but there we go. Okay, do you want it to be visible? If yes, flip that switch and turn it on. And I highly advise you. It says, are you sure you want to turn off visibility? No, I want to leave it on. So leave it on, leave it on. Oh, it's on. It's already on. This is saying it is visible, and this is saying it is not visible. So if it's not green, it's not visible. So you want to turn it on, turn it on, turn it on, turn it on, green. Great. All right. And that's it. And we're done with Dice. And you could go search for jobs. So if we're searching for a job and you're searching for PMP, project manager, and you're searching for this in, let's say, Cali, and you search. All right, so there's some jobs. And let's just grab one as an example. Let's see, is there any company that tickles my fancy? You know what, I'm just going to look for one of my favorite companies and give them some advertising. Let's see. Let's see. Anything from one of my favorite companies. Let's see. PMP over here. All right, let's try Phoenix. Phoenix, Arizona, where we have a lot of facilities here. Doesn't seem like we got any jobs. Okay, well, maybe it's that time of the year. Oh, hang on a second. Any jobs? No. So what I'm going to do is just search for these words, and we'll just go with whatever we find as an example. I think there was one we could have used, but I wanted to use a company I was more familiar with. You got to watch out for the left-hand side, though, because it started piling up keywords and it was looking for all of them, and that's probably why it couldn't find any. But let's take a look at this one. All right, so we've got a job here. It says senior PM has full responsibility to manage and oversee all aspects of most complex IT projects to deliver an IT product, system, service, or system. So we've got that. Requires the possession of a bachelor's degree and a valid PMP certification. Additional qualifying experience may be substituted for the required education on a year-for-year basis. The PMP certification is required. It's required. You ain't got no PMP, you shouldn't be here. So that's an example, and there are many like that, the PMPs. Now, what I would do for a job like this, I'll only show you a secret. You got to take this information and you got to look for one of these cloud portals, this word cloud portals. And what you're going to do is take the whole thing and just put the information into a word cloud generator. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this description. Okay, oh, let's just take the whole thing and let's put this into one of these word clouds. So you got all of the resume information just going down there to jasondavis.com/word cloud, or you could go to this one, worditout.com/word-cloud/create. There's so many of them. But the bottom line is you're going to put this resume description into this word cloud generator. You're going to hit go, and it's going to generate a bunch of words. And you want to make sure that you scan through these words logically, go through them and find the most important words and ensure that they are in your resume. Here's another one. So with Word It Out, it has brought to the surface product manage, qualifying, so use your own aptitude for this stuff and make sure that the words that you are picking are there. Let's actually go to a different job because I want to make sure you get the idea of how robust these word clouds can be. Let's go to this one, senior project manager / business analyst. Looking for a more robust description so I can show you the power of this. Yeah, so that's a good one. It's got a lot of content, a lot of minutia in there. So just for the purpose of the illustration, go back into word cloud. Let's delete what was there before, put that in there, hit go. And what do you know? I mean, these are the words you want to make sure in your resume at some level, right? And these ones that have been brought to the surface, the really big ones, definitely make sure those keywords are in there. Let's do the same for Word It Out. Let's do this again, put this in there and hit generate. And there you have it. So, I mean, it's doing some fancy colors and stuff. You can regenerate and regenerate and regenerate, and it changes the words, but there you can see it's all fancy in cursive and so on. But this Jason Davis one, it's not a bad one to use, all right? So going back to the resume, I would go in, make tweaks, and make it suitable for whatever I'm applying for. So let's go back. And the very job that I clicked on in the beginning is this. And if I wanted to apply for this position, simple, just hit easy apply and off you go. It would be that simple, that simple. See, that simple. So you put in all the information there. You'd also need a cover letter. Cover letters are not hard to create. Go into Word or just go on Monster, where we are going next, and look for the example of a good cover letter, craft a cover letter, send a cover letter. Boom, I just applied for a job while we are here. And let me be perfectly honest, my friends, when you are desperate, like I have been, let's be honest, we've all been desperate at some point or another, but I've been really crazily desperate. And what I do, I just take a look at the titles, have a very quick look at the description, and I'm just hitting job, like, hitting open in new tab, right? Open in new tab. And then again, right click and open in new tab. And I'm just hitting these jobs, on the head one after the other and applying en masse to jobs. Okay. But you saw it didn't take long for me to go on to Dice and put my resume in there. All right. So the reason why I'm doing this over a span of time, I know it's going into several minutes. I'm staying on this call to help you so that you follow along and do what I'm doing. Look for the jobs, apply for the jobs, right? If there are pieces that didn't quite make it in, put those pieces in, build it up. If you want to put your LinkedIn in, no harm, no foul, just do it. But whatever you do, my friends, get started and then we'll move forward. All right, my friends. So as far as our progress for today, this is the end of part 1. We will continue, but I want you to advance to these other sites, set up your resume and your profile. Start looking for jobs. It absolutely can be done, and you should do this, my friends. All right, you take care. I will speak to you very soon. Thank you for joining me again. For those of you just coming, this was a job strategy initiative to get those of you who are just sitting down doing none to get up, put your resume out there, start looking for jobs and get moving. I'll see you soon in our next episode on job strategy. You take care and bye for now.